recording.
Yeah.
Curry showed me that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Spoken. This is our new segment of NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about the two games that happened in the last 2 days. First game we're going to talk about is OKC and the San Antonio Spurs that happened on Tuesday. The San Antonio Spurs won in San Antonio by, I believe, 9 points, 111 to 120. Yep, there you go.
That's correct.
Awesome game. The big three for the OKC, both over had around 30 points each and whatnot, and they still lost. The Spurs just found a way to win, and I mean, from Ginobili to Parker to everybody. Tim Duncan,
Leonard.
Tim Duncan had a dunk on
Boys, D.will.
I mean, everybody contributed, and that's a good team basketball, and that's why they won that game on Tuesday. Now, OKC fans, I know you guys are going back home. We'll play on tonight, so that's in your favor. But you guys should still be a little bit nervous playing this San Antonio team. So let's go into the first game that was on Tuesday. Derek, what do you think about the San Antonio and OKC series? Is it over, or we still got a lot more basketball to play?
Well, first I want to start with I want to apologize to R.C. Buford and Greg Popovich. I said I wasn't sold on you guys. I watched you guys the last 2 nights. You guys put on a basketball clinic. The Spurs are for real.
This is history in the making right here. Derek is apologizing.
They are for real. I'm telling you.
History.
I mean, you guys might as well say they had 3 guys that scored 30 points. 30 points. They put up 111 points. 9 times out of 10, you put up 111 points in an NBA playoff game, you win. They lost by 9. They lost by 9. They're for real. I'm not saying Oklahoma's done. They're not done. But right now, if I was betting on this series and if I had money on this series and I had took Oklahoma, I wouldn't feel good. I would not feel good right now. Oklahoma has to win this game. This is like, from here on out, every game is going to be like an elimination game for Oklahoma.
Right.
From here on out, they're going to have to play every game the rest of the way like it's an elimination game. Because that's basically what it is. Because if they don't win tonight, they're going to have 3-0. They're dead. They're dead to me. They're not going to come back from 3-0. So I don't think they're done. But I'm telling you, man, the ship is sinking.
Titanic style.
I like what Derek said. Like Derek said about the Lakers a long time ago. He said they're still cooking with chicken grease. I think the
No, they're
Thunder.
cooking with grease, not chicken.
Chicken grease, grease, whatever.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
What's chicken got to do anything with it?
Anyway, what I'm saying is this. The Thunder are not out of this series by any means. They had opportunities in the first game, multiple opportunities in that first game to win. This series should be tied. It couldn't have been tied. It should be tied going into OKC. So I still don't think they should be discouraged. Yes, they did have about 90 points combined between their 3 big-time players, and they still lost. But I still think if the Thunder win tonight, this is still a series, guys. I do have the Spurs still winning. It doesn't. I'm not like saying, well, I'm changing my mind. No, by no means am I changing my mind. The Spurs are still completely the better team. But the Thunder have enough on this team to beat the Spurs at least a couple times. And I think they need to take advantage of this home stretch, and they need to do what they need to do to get some victories. And the first thing is learn how to fight that pick and roll. Because for some reason, Russell Westbrook is still getting ate up by that thing. I don't understand if Scott Brooks is not, well, to no one's surprise, doing his job to the fullest, or Russell Westbrook is still on a learning curve and he's just not getting it. I don't know what it is. And the second thing is Kevin Durant has got to contribute in the fourth quarter. 10 points in the first 2 fourth quarters of this series for the scoring champ, that's unacceptable, guys. So he needs to do better. He needs to step it up. Russell needs to do his thing. James Harden, keep playing the way you're playing. You're playing solid, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and to make stops. That's as simple as it gets. And they can win tonight. They very well could. Am I saying they will? No. They need to prove me wrong. They need to prove me wrong because I've said they can win the last game and they let me down. I'm saying you got to prove me wrong. So I'm going with the Spurs.
So I've been saying they're going to win the last 2. I said they'd win game 1. They didn't lose. I said, well, they'll get them in game 2. No, they didn't. So I don't know. I think what I would do tonight if I was Scott Brooks, I would start Derek Fisher at the point guard spot. I would start Derek Fisher, go small, put Russell at the 2. Because Fisher is really smart. He's a veteran, and one thing about Fisher, he's tough. He'll fight over those picks. Where Westbrook is being lazy over the pick. You know, and they're going to have to go small, and they're not going to be able to play both of those bigs at the same time.
Do you think Fisher's effectiveness though has probably been because of the fact he's been off the bench and he's kind of seen how James Harden's been effective. You know, he's seen the way the defense is playing, comes in around the 5-minute mark and starts doing his thing. Do you think that might not only affect how Fisher plays, but maybe how Harden gets in, like as far as his minutes are concerned?
In a good way?
Yeah, like good or bad. Like what?
I think it'll benefit because one thing about Fisher, he's going to get guys in some spots. He's going to get guys in spots. He's one of the. Yeah. If Durant's open, Fisher's going to get him the ball from the point guard spot. Where Durant popped up, hit a shot the other night, and Durant came back again, popped up. Westbrook looked him off and went to pass the ball that way to a guy that was guarded. Fisher won't make that play. He's going to make the basketball play because Fisher one of the smartest guys.
Who would have thought we were talking about the Western Conference Finals right now and Derek Fisher's sort of an X factor?
Yeah,
who would have thought?
I mean,
when Lakers let him go, we all thought he was done.
He's one of the smartest guys in the league, and he's got championship pedigree.
Yeah.
He's been there and
but
done.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't want to play the two bigs at the same time. So
no,
how would you do that lineup?
I'd probably go Fisher. I'd go Russell. I'd go Durant. I'd put Ibaka, and I'd go Steph-Locious. I'd go Steph-Locious because you got to go small, man. Yeah. San Antonio's not a big team, and they're putting four guys on the floor at all times that can handle the ball, pick and roll,
and I'll agree.
And shoot
Perkins has been a statue in the paint. Both sides.
The only guy that's not shooting three and they can pick and pop or pick and roll with the dribble is Duncan. They putting 4 shooters on the floor at all times, so you gotta go small and match up with those guys.
So Ibaka will be at the center.
Yeah,
Durant,
yeah,
power forward.
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Because that's going to create matchups on the side for Oklahoma to succeed. Yeah. I really would. Like you said, their offense will flow better.
And who knows? Maybe Perkins might get a little fire under him. You know, hey, they benched me tonight, or they put me on the as a backup role. Right. Let's see what I can do. Yeah. It might wake him up a little. Who knows? We saw this guy dominate pretty well against the Lakers in the finals with the Celtics, or when he was with the Celtics. I mean, it isn't out of this guy. He's only 27, 28 years old. Yeah. It's not like this guy's old and washed up. He just needs to start playing better.
And if you got those small guys on the floor that are used to playing the perimeter, they have better footwork. They have better lateral movement, so they can recover on the pick and roll. Other than a big man who's stuck in cement. It's time. I think they have to put Perkins on the shelf.
Is Kevin Durant's leadership being put into question? Because we know people like Kobe, people like Michael Jordan. I hate to kind of compare them to greats like that. Yeah. But they'll take their teammate to the side and talk to them, say pass the ball, or this is the play we need to do. Be smart. Where the case is. All I see is Durant play with his mouthpiece.
Well, guys, I mean Westbrook.
So,
I mean they've all said even Durant said himself, and you can take this for how you want, how you want to, but. I mean, Durant's even said himself, the guy that gets this team going and the guy that leads this team is Russell Westbrook. That's what he said himself. So, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a thing where he defers to Russell, even though that's how it looks sometimes. I just think that, I don't know if Durant's the type of guy that's a vocal leader. I don't know if he's that kind of guy. I don't think he's, unless his age is saying something right now. Maybe as he gets older, he might progress in that area of his life. But right now, I just think he's just a damn good player. He's just a guy that just goes out there and puts up numbers. And if he isn't this big-time leader, I don't think it's necessarily a knock on him, but they're going to have to find it somewhere because right now Russell Westbrook's still dealing with his own emotions of being a young player and still trying to find out who he really is. So if he's your leader, then it's that's why it was such a good pickup, like we were just talking about Derek Fisher, to get him on that team, to calm that team down and show him how to slow the game down and play it the right way. So, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a knock on him. I just think that he just needs to
but there are different types of leadership. You don't have to be vocal about it, but you can show him, like you said, shoot more in the fourth quarter. For example, I mean, we always talk about LeBron James and his non-shooting factor last year in the finals, and now, like I said, Kevin Durant is somebody in the same boat. I mean, you have to shoot.
Yeah, his role is to close on that team, and he's not doing it right now.
I mean, until Durant, and I don't think it's nothing to do with his age. I mean, I think it's just his personality. A lot of guys they have a laid-back demeanor personality. I know a lot of guys like that. Until Durant becomes a vocal leader on this team will not win a championship. Because he's going to have to be a vocal leader, because he's going to have to be more aggressive. He's going to have to start holding teammates accountable. Right. He's going to have to start getting in guys' face.
I mean, not
turning cheek, but he's the best player.
Right.
And your best player can't be your nicest player when you're trying to win championships. Right. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think every guy on their team plays a role, and I think even like if you look at the Heat, one of their biggest leaders is Juwan Howard. He plays like negative 3 minutes a game. So, he's the guy that solves situations within the clubhouse. I've heard that numerous times from numerous sources. So it's like you have these guys on the bench, they might not play a lot, but if they're, they have a pedigree of, man, this guy's been in the league a long time, he has a lot of experience, this guy's going to be a future something in the league when he retires. Let's listen to this guy. Same with Derek Fisher, like I was just saying. So, I don't know. Do you think, Durant should change his personality?
Yeah, I mean, it's not changing his personality, it's just stepping up and becoming more of a leader. It's not your personality Juwan Howard can be a leader all he wants to. I mean, he's 50 years old. I mean, he's not doing anything on the floor. When you're on the floor leading, he's not on the floor telling guys where they were in different spots because, hell, he's not even in the game.
Right.
He's just yelling on the sideline, come on, go, let's go. I mean, okay.
It only goes so far as
rah.
Right.
I'm talking about guys on the floor like, hey, look here, you was need to be here, you was in that spot, you should have been here. I'm talking about leaders like that. Not turn your cheek on. I'm talking about if a guy was open or he didn't defend a man on a pick and roll or didn't get a rebound, get in his face. Let him know. That's what great leaders. If you look at every championship leader, he held his teammates accountable. Every championship leader. You can go back from Magic, Bird, all those guys. None of those guys. I mean, how many fights you see Larry Bird in?
Multiple.
Fight.
Especially with Dr. J. Lost a couple.
I mean, Jordan fighting, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, all leaders. I don't think the rest even had an argument with a guy.
Nah, even when Ron Artest elbowed our heart and he had front row seats and he just stood there.
Yeah, I mean, until Durant becomes that type of player, this team will not win a championship. And there's no knock on Kevin. It's just the process of the growing that he has to mature. And I think he can get to it. He's just not there yet.
Very interesting. So who wins tonight in OKC? Game 3.
Well, I just got off the phone with a great, reliable NBA source, my guy Julius Jones, who told me that Oklahoma will not win the game tonight. And I'm going with him tonight. Oklahoma. No, I'm not. I'm staying with Oklahoma. Oklahoma get to win tonight. I say Oklahoma by 5.
By 5.
I like that because he used his source and then he doesn't go with the source.
Well, I used
That's
my
amazing.
source. I didn't go with him.
He name drops.
He's a good
and he doesn't
source.
even use the.
I didn't use him.
It's amazing. Well, I'm not going to go with an NBA source here because I don't have any.